Oh, sorry. There you go. All right, guys, very cool. So, yesterday we had started wrapping it all together, and what I mean by that is we had like 12 effects, but they kind of just happened randomly. They didn't happen in a sequence, like this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So now we're going through and doing that because as you're screaming, you're going to want it to like start with this and then move on to the birds flying away and then the little pebbles lifting up and stuff like that, as opposed to it kind of just all happening randomly. So that should be good. I see the man is in here. Welcome, the man. Glad you're here. And let's see, it's just opening up. And I guess doing some importing, but I'm not sure why. So let's hope that that goes through quickly. Let me take this jacket off. Okay, very cool. Oh, very nice, the man. Thank you for telling me. So let's see. So let's see. I believe. Actually, you know what? We do have something interesting. Let me see. Let me download this. There was something else. The artist helping work on this game had made a body for us. And let's see. Let's get rid of that one. Let's get in this one. And how did I fix this last time? There were these lines last time. Oh, I remember. Okay, very cool. It was something wrong with the normal map. I don't actually know what it was. Hey, bro, there's going to be a PS5 restock in every store on Wednesday. Very cool. Are you going to get one? Okay, cool. So now let's see if we can make this your body. And I just have to figure out how that would happen. I'm going to try. Yeah, most of the people... Most of the people I know who are trying to get them have gotten them already, but I haven't really been asking around. The people I know are pretty zealous about it, so they really went ham trying to get these things. Okay, cool. So now we just need to figure out how to put that... Body. Drag it in here. Original prefab. Go back. Models. Rename this body model. Cool. Get rid of the body. Go into the player. Go into the player. Come out. Go into prefabs. Body. So I guess we're going to want to put it... I guess probably here. I guess we'll probably put that there, and we will we'll take it and we'll unpackage it. And we'll take this cuff, probably put it under the hand, and take this one and put it under that hand. Okay, cool, and then we'll just have to position them nicely. Minimal smoothness. Let's see here. The Xbox Series S is on stock, by the way, at the Walmart website. Are you trying to get an Xbox as well, Fire Music? Because I'm not that interested in the Xbox, personally. Okay, there we go. That's what I was missing. Hand left. Where's the material I used on this hand? Skin. Let me open this up. Grab this. Okay, cool. I don't know if this is being affected by... I don't know what kind of light this is being affected by. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the skin color to match up. Getting a PS5 is harder than getting a girlfriend. Yeah, nah. I guess that is true. For some people, at least. Maybe not for other people. That's funny. Okay, cool. So I'm just trying to get this body aligned, and I'm trying to get the wrist guards on the wrists. But I was just messing with the material a little bit so that I could get that. And so you have this right hand controller. Let's close all that stuff up. I guess the hands left, cuff left, offset, cuff right. Let's go back to cuff left. Let's open up the shader. I don't think I want specular highlights on. Cool, so let's see here. So that's the left cuff, so we want to move it. Basically just however we need to move it to get it to look right on that hand. I assume that this is the back of the cuff. Okay, let me call this cuff handle. Let me put this under it. And the cuff handle, very cool. And then this thing, I'm just trying to line it up with the cuff handle nicely. That way I can more easily move this whole thing. Okay, so that's better. Not quite. Okay, cool. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. I'm just kind of going to do it by eye. Yeah, it feels pretty good to me. Even the size is good, just right off the bat. I didn't have to scale it or anything. I think that's good. So I think that's probably good. Okay, they seriously keep using COVID as an excuse when Microsoft doesn't even have problems making Xbox consoles. Sony keep using PS5. I don't really know. That's Sony keeps as an excuse. I don't think they're lying or anything. I think isn't there a silicon shortage that's making it hard for everybody to make GPUs? What do you think they're doing? Just purposely holding back on the consoles? Alright, cool, let's go with that for now. Actually, you know what? Is that like really thick? Oh, dang it. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit bigger. I'm being a little tedious here. I'm just trying to get this. I guess it needs to be just a little bit bigger. I just want it to be nice, is all. Okay, very cool. So that looks good. However, what color are his wrist guards? They are dark. Okay. Okay, cool. So it didn't exactly work, but it's close enough. They're holding stock to build up hype, but it's doing the opposite. I really don't think they're holding stock, Fire Music. I think there's like a... I think like the base components you need to make a GPU, they're having a hard time getting them. I really thought that would work. Alright, anyway. Let's see if we can get this aligned. Cool, good enough. Let's get it kind of rotated to the right spot. Move it down, move it over. Move it back, move it down. So luckily we have the scale now, at least. Or at least I would have thought we did. There we go. Yeah, that one was way faster. Okay, cool. So now you have these wrist guards. And then we need to get the body. Okay, so I guess it wasn't modeled quite at the origin, maybe. Actually, no, sorry. There we go. So it was modeled at the origin. Okay, cool. And I guess we wanted to follow... And I suppose we'll want it to follow there. Well, let's just see what happens here. Let me make sure this is a rift. And we're just trying to get the body going, guys, for those who are joining. Okay, so first of all, the wrist guards are really cool. I don't know what that's about. And why it's only on the right hand. I had never noticed that. What is that? Okay, I'm not so worried about that. And then we just need to place the body. So let's do this. Let's put it under main camera. Main camera is there. Let's take body. Let's put it maybe right here. And let's see what that gets us. Oh, you know what? That's not how we need to do this. It'll sort of work. Yeah, so let me show you guys what's happening because we can't see it. So the body is attached. Body is attached to the head, so I can never see it because when I look down, it moves backwards since it's childed under it. So that's funny. Okay, let's see. I'm working on a game in Unity and I want to publish on PS4. Do you know if there is any fee for publishing games on PS4? No, I imagine the fee comes in. I imagine the fee would come in where if your game is $10, you probably give them $2 every sale would be the fee. The thing you'd have to do is basically get permission to actually publish to their store, which I'm not sure what the process on that is, but you'd have to check. I know they've gotten more lenient over the years as they know their ecosystem is good and can't really, you know, like, it doesn't really matter if there's some sort of newbie games on there because nobody will see it anyway if it's not good. So it's kind of, there's no risk involved in it for them. So I think they're getting more lenient. Let's see. How to apply to put game on PlayStation. Yeah, looks like you're going to want to check out PlayStation partners. Okay, cool. So we pretty much just need to write a script that follows the head, so that's not too bad. Let's see. I guess let's just write a script, call it body. Makes the body follow the head. Nothing crazy. Okay, cool. So then an update will basically just say dot position equals do I have a player spy in this game? Yeah, we don't need it. Let's do public game object, public transform head. Get rid of this. With the position equals head dot position minus vector 3 minus vector 3 dot up. And how far down would it be? I guess something like 0.5 meters maybe. Let's start with that. But let's also just do a slider in here. That way we can public float offset. That way we can do it in the editor, so we don't have to keep like starting the game and restarting it and stuff like that. Okay, so first you update its position, and then you update its position. Then we're gonna need to do rotation. Wait, is this a VR game? It is a VR game, Sky Blue. And hey, Code One, good to see you in here. Yeah, so we're currently doing the body. We had an artist, I believe his name is Adrian. He made some pretty sweet models for us, so we're just getting them in. This is going to be sick. Yes, it's pretty good, honestly. I'll say that it's a good experience. I mean, you won't play it for hours and hours, but I think the, like, 10 minutes you'll give it will be very enjoyable, for sure. Okay, and it's rotation. So let's just do transform.look at transform.position plus head plus vector 3 dot head vector 3 dot project on plane. If you guys have seen the math video, you'll know what this is. Project on plane vector and the vector normal. So we need the head dot forward and vector 3 dot up. And what that should give us is a body that rotates under us. So that should be good. Okay, so let's go back to the player script. No, it's just that I just popped in to say hi. Alright, Sky Blue, no worries. Glad you did. And Enrique Pig. No, currently just the one character. So let's see, but he did a really good job on it, I think. Alright, cool. So we'll put body on it. We'll give it the head. We'll move it out of this. And we'll make the offset, what did we say, 0.5? We'll start with that. So this should work, but let's see. Cool, so it does work. The offset is not correct though. Okay, but the offset is not correct, so let's change it. Let's see what looks good in VR. That's so awesome. That's so funny. Wow, I've never made a game with a body before. I guess that looks good. Let me see. So I'm just trying to think here on how I want to do this. I think it needs to move back just a little bit. I think it needs to move back just a little bit. Let me take a look at the hands. Alright, cool. It does need to move back, let's say that. And the offset is 0.68. So let's remember that. Let's hop back into player. .68, very cool. Let's go to the body script. Transform.position. So first of all, head forward, projected, vector 3, projected, equals. So let's take this out of here. Equals this, and the position equals head position minus that minus projected times offset 2. Because we don't know what that's going to be yet either, so we'll make a guess at that, I suppose. But let's see. So we just need to move it back a little bit. It's a little too forward. I'm like, it looks like your chest is out here, like you have the biggest chest in the world. So let's see, and then that should be good. La 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 la. Alright, player, body. Sorry, this is just total design stuff. Okay, cool. 0.65, 0.14. Yeah, so the guy we had model these for us, his name is Adrian. He's in the Discord, and he's very talented. He has some stuff in Game Showcase. He mostly does sci-fi stuff, but he was kind enough to do this for me because I thought that you guys would really appreciate it. So I certainly appreciate it. I think it's cool to have the body in there, especially one that's recognizable. So we'll see. What did you miss? Basically, we were just getting the body in my name, so you'll see that next time we start it up. But the player has a body now, a recognizable body, so let's say. But now we're going to get back to darkening the sky. So I believe we had made a power level 1 because we wanted to darken sky, clouds, directional light, storm color. Very cool. And there were a few things we needed to do. Basically, when level was achieved, I suppose what was going to happen was I guess we can start with the density of the clouds. So it's going to go from whatever it is to the density. So where else did we do that? We had just done this in another... We just done this. What did we just do before this? I guess wind through trees. This one here. No. Okay, I guess we had gotten rid of it. No, here it is. So let's just copy this and let's just do it a few times over here. Level achieved, darken sky over time. Make clouds denser. Fade in clouds. Fade in clouds. Cool. Okay, cool. So it's going to go from whatever the OG density is to 0.1 is what we need. So we need some sort of fade like that. So we'll start at 0, we'll go to 1, shader dot set. So we don't want that, we instead want this. And we don't want that, we want density ID. Very cool, and we want to set the float to, basically, what is the float going to be? It's going to be OG density. We're basically going from OG density to 0.01. So there's our interval right there. And then we need to go from linearly interpolates between A and B by T. You know, I don't find that their math functions in Unity always go exactly as I planned, but let's see if this works. So A should be OG density. Instead of doing this ourselves, we'll just use their pre-built function. 0.01 and by T. So let's hope that works, and if it doesn't, then we'll go back and check it out. Cyclical flow, we don't need that. Yield, unitask. So now we need to import unitask, and then fade in time. Very cool. So let's see. Let's make it functional. And then we'll do final density here. Cool, so we're basically just setting it up so that the clouds can fade in over time. Density ID, final density. Okay, cool. But then we need to do that for a few values, actually. So we need to do the density. We need to do the speed. So this will be a little bit of boilerplate here. Final speed. Fade in speed. And instead of density ID, it will be speed ID. Cool. So much faster once you get the first one in. Make clouds faster. What else was there? Change color of clouds. And if you guys don't understand the math that I'm doing here, let me know, because we do have time to explain it. This game goes by pretty quick. Float final speed. So we're going to change this to final color. And I guess we don't know what that is yet. Fade in color. Color ID. I believe it was color lerp that doesn't work for some reason, and I just don't know why. Okay, so these are wrong. OG density. Don't know how that happened. That's okay. Final speed. Okay, cool. And final color. So between OG color and final color and by T. So that should all work nicely. And final color, let's just say color.gray for right now. Okay, we need to make this a color. Now it looks like I messed up again, set color. But we just need to change it real quick. Because we are changing the property on the material, we're not changing the global property. So it's a little bit different. And again, any questions, let me know. Okay, cool. So now we fade the color, we fade the speed, and we fade the color, speed, and density. So that should be good. Okay, and then we also needed to do the directional light. So it's not fade in, yeah, so fade in clouds, fade in speed, and we'll give these values in a second. Fade in color. And then we have one more. We're going to call it final color light. Fade in light color. And it's not going to be cloud mats. It's actually going to be it's going to be directional light dot color equals, which should make conceptual sense. We have our directional light, we grab the color property off of it, and we set it to a new color here. We say like, yeah, change color, basically. So that should be good. Okay, so we have all those. Let's go ahead and put them in a region so I don't have to look at them. We'll call it faders. We'll put this down here and we'll close it. Should be noted that all of those are async, so they will run basically non-sequentially. They will wait like between frames and then continue running, blah, blah, blah. So I call them all at the start. They're all going to happen at different times though, basically depending on how long that fade in is. So let's see here. Let's close this, internal, needed object, parameters, light, storm color. Okay, so it looks like I already had that. So I actually think it would be faster for me to just rewrite them than it would be for me to copy them. So let's do float, final density, float, final speed. Yeah, way faster. Float, final color. It's actually not going to be a float. That's okay. Final light, color. Okay, and then we'll come back here. We'll take all of these and we'll make them all public. Very cool. And then we'll take these two and we'll make those colors. And then we'll get rid of this. And then that should be good for that. And then we'll put a space here. And we'll do public float. Sorry, let's just do density fade time, speed fade time. It's just really a lot of boilerplate. Color, cloud color, fade time, light color, fade time. Very cool. And the reason I wrote it like that is because on this one I can just take all of them and do public float. Save myself some time. Cool. And then down here, cloud fade time. I'm just plugging all this in. Fade and speed. Speed fade time. Color fade time. Directional light fade time. Very cool. How long do you think we will be able to play this game? I don't know, honestly. Not crazy far. I mean, I don't know how it runs on the headset is the problem. It could be that I make this whole game, then I put it on the headset. Right now, it seems like we're within the range where it will run at frame rate, but you really never know until you put it on the headset. So we might have some problems, and then we might need to fix them. I don't think it's going to be crazy long, let's say that, before playtesters can get their hands on it. Maybe another... So I'm starting to submit the games to SideQuest now. I guess I was going to announce that later, once they were approved, but I've submitted Awesome AP Orb and Silkworm to SideQuest because Oculus is just taking too long. And I think people are getting antsy over it. So... Another droid, how long are you able to play this game? Yeah. No worries, another droid. So, probably not too long until you guys can play this. And then I need to get rid of these, since I now have them at the top. Alright, so let's check this out. Okay, so we have darkened sky, final density, let's make it 0.01, final speed. I don't know, let's take a look at these clouds. Make this 127. Let's make this, let's see here. So I guess that's probably a good darkness level. You know what, I'm gonna need to fade the skybox too, I think. That's probably a good darkness level. The density should probably be something like that. I guess just 0.01. And the speed. I guess the speed can really just be as high as we can go. Okay, cool. I'm just checking values here. 0.01, 1, final color. What was it? 113. Come on, hand. Go slow. I'm trying to get 113. All right, 114 will work just fine. And this was going to be 127. Very cool. Okay, so we have the final density, the final speed, after fading in, I mean. And then we need to get the, let's see, the final light color. Yeah, that looks good, 128. Density fade time maybe over 5 seconds. Speed also 5 seconds. I guess just all over 5 seconds for right now. Okay, and then I need to put these things back. Starts as a nice day out. Okay, it starts as a nice day, then we come to the clouds, and the density is way less, the speed is pretty slow, and the color is going to be white. Okay, cool. So let's see what that gets us. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is that the speed is just a little bit too much. It's a little too fast. Let's put that to 0.8. The next thing I noticed is that none of it worked at all. So this is again why I don't really use Unity's interpolation features, because they don't. I'll check for, it might be my bug. It might be my bug. I'm definitely going to check, but let's see. Okay, and they all got set to 0 for some reason, so that's not good. Okay, so I guess this just doesn't work. So that's a little rough on me. It should work though. Let me just debug this here, just to make sure. Let's go in here. Change it to red, play. So it does work. I see. I was redeclaring them. And that will probably fix the other bugs I had on us as well, actually. Directional light, dot color. I'm basically just grabbing the original colors. That way, when it is over, I can set them back. All right, cool. OG light color, and then I need to go in here and change this to OG light color. Okay, very cool. So let's see. So that should be good. Now, let's set these back. All right, let's see. Okay, and it now does work, so that was the problem. Let's see. So everything seemed to work fairly well. I think the only thing that didn't work was the speed for some reason. So let's take a look at it. Okay, and that would be why. OG color, OG light color. Okay, cool. So let's check that out now. Let's just make this 0. And I don't know if speed is still messed up for some reason. It like gets really, really fast. Let's take a look. Fade in clouds, fade in speed, Fade and speed, 0, OG speed. Let me print it out and see what it is that we're getting, because it seems like we maybe are just getting a wrong value. .08. Okay, let's watch it and see what happens. Okay, cool. So it works nicely there. Let me look at it again. Okay, cool. So it's just something to do with the shader. There's some quirk in the shader. And it probably just has to do with the way speed works with the scaling. As it's changing, it just messes it up. And I'm honestly fine with that. That's fine, whatever. Okay, cool. Ah, dang it. Actually, let me take one more look at it. Because it's also the skybox. Let me see if it needs to fade the skybox as well. Click on this, click on here. Yeah, it'd probably be nice if that faded as well. And it won't take us that long anyway, so let's do it. Point 7. Start at 0.9. Okay, cool. Let me think. La la la. How do I get the material for the skybox in here? I think I should be able to just drag the material in, but I'm not actually sure that that will work. Material, skybox mat. Property to ID. Let me come out here and click on this. We're looking for exposure. Select shader, dash exposure. Okay, so now we have the ID, so that's good. And then we need the OG. OG skybox color equals skybox mat dot get color skybox color ID. So let's just go ahead and print this before we do any work, because I'm actually not sure that this is going to allow me to get the skybox. Why I don't think it's going to allow me to get the skybox, I think I tried this earlier and for some reason it doesn't like you just dragging in a material from the project, although that could have been a quirk and so of something else as opposed to a problem with actually doing that. So let me check here. Daytime, cool, so we've grabbed that. Sorry, and it's not a color actually. Yeah, it's actually not a color at all. It's an exposure. So this will be a get float instead. Okay, cool. So let's see what it gets. It should be like 0.9 or something, or 0.09 or. Cool. Okay, so it does work. So you can drag a material in there like that. I don't know why it wasn't working earlier. Maybe it was when I had forgotten that I was using the wrong material or something like that. I don't recall. Okay, but we need a skybox exposure fade time. And then in here, we basically need to call skybox exposure. Cool, so just another one, and then we can just copy this one. Lower the skybox exposure. Cool. Fade skybox exposure, fade in time, set float. So it's actually not this one. It's going to be the skybox mat. Cool, set float, not speed ID. It will be skybox color ID, which should be skybox exposure ID. So let's change that. OG exposure final skybox exposure. Skybox mat dot set float skybox ID OG skybox exposure. Cool. And then we need to create a, what was it? Final, yeah. Cool. Okay, now it's set up for that as well. So that should be good. Let's check it out. Final exposure was what, like 0.5? And that's pretty much it. And I think that's all we needed to do. So let's check it out. Yeah, so the exposure didn't change at all, it looks like. Actually, or maybe it did. Okay, I see. And with any boilerplate like that, you can normally expect to get that type of bug, where you just kind of forgot to use the right variable name. Okay, a couple things. Now we're getting into the artistic stuff. This final color of the light should really just be black. And I believe... So we need to generate real-time shadow color, source, skybox. Let's just make it a... Okay, we should probably fade the... I'm thinking we should probably fade the ambient color as well. First of all, switch it to ambient color so we don't have to like keep baking ambient colors. And then fade it. But first, oh, and so for those of you who don't know, basically when you're doing lighting, when you're trying to decide like how much light is in my scene, there's a couple things. You have your lights and you have your ambient lighting here. So you'll see that if I turn this directional light off, there's still some light, like I can still see things, and that's because of this here. But if I make that black, it basically all goes away. So that's how that works. So I'm just changing the ambient part because the sun, like the directional light was changing when the sky is darkening, but the ambient color was not. So it was still kind of like there was really no light, but the ambient color was still nice. So it wasn't really working. So let's actually change this back to something like this, because now we'll be changing the ambient color instead. So I did notice that this basically that this kind of the skybox instantly changed. So let's take a look at it. Cool. Yes, and that's true. It did instantly change. Did I not pass in the fade time? Oh, I never set it. I never set the fade time. I'm just making a bunch of silly mistakes here. No worries. Alright, let's take a look at it now. This should work. So whatever ambient light I have is like really blue, I guess. Let me just take a look at this. Okay, cool. Looks like maybe the clouds didn't get set back for some reason, which is a little sad. Yeah, they didn't get fully set back. What is that about? And I worked so hard on that too. Okay, very cool. So now we just need to, once again, do this one more time, but for the environmental color. And then we'll have a really nice effect here. So this one shouldn't take us too long. Final ambient color. And this one's actually going to be a color. I'll put it down here. At this point, I guess I'm wondering why I'm making a different fade time for each one when I OG ambient color, when I clearly am just kind of doing the same one for all of them, but that's okay. And I need to actually look up how to get the ambient color. OG ambient color, cool. And then let's take this. So it should be noted that people nowadays, like, you see how much work I'm having to do to kind of fake the idea that everything changed. Nowadays, everything is physically based, where instead of having all these little tweaks you do, you just change the actual atmosphere and say, like, yeah, it's raining now, and that will change how the sun looks, and that will change how the clouds are, because those are physically based as well, and all of that, so you wouldn't really have to deal with any of this. But we are cheap. We are on mobile, so fade in, change the ambient color, fade in, ambient color. So this isn't dir, it's going to be render, settings, dot, ambient light, OG ambient color, final ambient color, final ambient color. Okay, so that should be good. And then we just need to go into dark and sky over time, fade in ambient color, ambient fade time. Cool, so that should be good. And then blah, 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 blah. That should all be good. Now we just need to go set those values before we forget. Final ambient color, let's just say it's gray as well. It's just all gray. All right, and let's see what happens. Okay, I do believe that the ambient color changed. Okay, cool. I do believe the ambient color changed. Let me just make sure though, and make this red. And that should make it obvious. Okay. Which is not uncool, actually. But, alas, let's make it some sort of gray. Okay, let's go into project settings, quality. Well, actually, let's go into settings, universal, and let's set this to 2. Because I think I'll probably end up using 2 lights. One for, sorry, one for the actual sky and one for you when you start putting off yellow light. So let's see here. Take a look at it, then we'll move on. Cool. Let me see. I feel like if I can just get this part of his hair, like just one thing hanging in front of you, it would make the point that you've changed. Okay, cool. So let's take a look now at what is next. Small rocks on ground lift. First of all, let's change this to 3. Small rocks is already 4. Or it turns on 5. Earthquake ensues, 6. Oh, sky darkens is 7. Ground crushes, dust on bowl instead. Okay, very cool. So now we need the ground crushes, which is very similar to what we just did, because it will require a lot of the same stuff. So hills, it's got a mesh collider, ground vibrate. I guess we also just want ground crush. Let's create an empty. Let's call it ground crush. go over here. Let's go into scripts, power levels. I'm just thinking about some of the other stuff that has to happen when this ground crushes. And yeah, so it's got like the flat dust. Dust flat. Dust bowl. Flat little rocks. I'm trying to decide if I want to mess with the little rocks or if they're fine. I think I'll probably just keep them crush depth, seconds to crush, power level start. So what power level does it start at? 8. Okay, cool. And let's edit the script. Let's take a look at it. Crush height ID, crush height. Set global float. So I don't think it's... We can make it a global float. It doesn't matter. Crush height, override, global. Cool. And let's call it crush height. Cool, so that it lines up with that. Reset it. Get the audio source. Play the sound, wait for that amount of seconds. I guess this must have just been basically dependent on the sound that I was using, which is fair enough. And it looks like they're pretty tied, so let's just go ahead and put it on here. Do crush, ground crush. Very cool. So it's not going to play on awake, it's not going to loop. It's going to be mostly 3D. If we go into our audio, do Oculus Spatializer, we can do Spatialize. Let's put it like right here. Game object, align with view. That way when they hear it a little bit right below them. So that should be good. And then, let's do mostly 3D though. Or mostly 2D, just so that it's loud. Okay, so that should be good. Crush ground, stop that, set the global float, math lerp, 0 to crush depth. Where were these ones? Let's call it like 0.3 seconds for the crush. And let's set this to 1 so that we can test it. See how it goes. Okay, so it did not work. And I don't know why, to be honest. I don't even know if it played the sound. think we would have heard that, but let's check. Cool, yeah, so it doesn't play for some reason. Okay, so let's take a look. Ground Crush, power level start. It's a power event. Should be working. If the level achieved, return. Where's level achieved? I guess I'm just curious if it's calling. Hey, Winters. I'm doing very good. We got the Darkened Sky going, and now we're doing the Ground Crush. So I'm just having a little bit of trouble on getting this to work for some reason. Let me get rid of this. I don't think that's what it's going to be. For some reason, it's just not really... I don't know. Let's see. How are you doing, Winters? Okay, let's turn that off and let's try this. It might be that I just can't actually hear the audio. And that... Oh, it's good that you're doing well. It might be that I can't actually hear the audio. Okay, so that is what it was. So we need to make this mostly 2D. Like pretty much fully 2D with just a little bit of 3D in it. And that should be good. Okay, and then this Ground Crush is not actually working. Crush height, let's go in here. Okay, so that's clearly not working. So let us, instead of shader set global float, we will do public material hills mat. We'll get all of these. We'll do hills mat dot set float crush height. And then let's go back into hills. Okay, it looks like maybe I just never saved this. What's the problem? You can see right here, it looks like it's not saved. So that was probably it. Wasn't there something where it can't be exposed either? I'm trying to remember if that was a thing. Let's check. Okay, it can't be exposed. Cool. So that's the ground crush. It'll crush in like that, so that should be good. La la la. And we don't need this to do this on validate. And let's set this back to 0 so that it looks normal. Okay, now let's test it. Wow, it felt like I was taking off or something. And you know what? You know what's interesting? The now that I'm looking at it, the fact that my hills are low resolution kind of works in my favor because it almost looks like it's more what would be the word for it? Like I destroyed the ground more as opposed to just made like a nice little imprint, which would be the case if it was a really fine resolution mesh. Like this is just an artifact of the fact that these are how big the triangles are on the mesh right here. You can see like the whole triangle, but it makes it look more destructive. So that's cool. So a couple things. This isn't going to go back when I... Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So there's that, and then what else was it? It was way too slow. I felt like I was like flying or something. It made me feel like I was going to fall over. Although I was sitting, so that would have been tough to do. Let's see. There's two, so let's do like 0.1. Let's do 0.15, double that speed. Very cool. And then we need to take this, we need to do 25, which I think I liked. And then we need to take the dust bowl, and we need to take the gravity, make it lower, lower. Maybe just a little bit lower even. Okay, it's kind of a problem. I think maybe I just need to offset it. Oh. Okay, cool. And that looks good. Yeah, winters. It certainly does, I think. Like, weirdly, being less realistic makes it more realistic. And let me show you what I mean. Like, the wireframe for this... This is the wireframe for the ground. Look how big the triangles are. And because I'm doing the ground crush per vertice, which is all these ones, like this one and this one, like where all the edges meet, it can only have so much resolution to it, right? Because these are all really low resolution. You can see my trees blowing in the wind here, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so yeah, so that's cool. And that makes it even more obvious, I'd say. You can see like exactly what's happening. All right, sick. So ground crush is, let me test it out again. Now we're into the design phase where I just need to mess with the variables until it looks and feels good. Okay, yeah, I'd say that was pretty cool. It actually, you know what, it honestly could probably even go a tad faster. We have to go faster. Let's make it 0.1. Let's try that one more time. Okay, sweet. So that's good. Now I need to change the lifetime of this one. Just make this a constant. We're not changing it? No, I am. More. So that's good. So it needs to be 4.4. So we'll make it between 4.2 and 4.5. Cool. Okay, and then I'd say that that's pretty much good to go as well. So that's really cool. I know you're working with the map and all that, but what if you added custom hands? Oh, sorry, give me a second. Ah, my eye is so itchy. Okay. The worst happened to me. What happened, Josue? And I do have custom hand winters. Did you not see him? I got a custom body in too. Adrian helped me out with it. Or what did you want from the hands? I got the wristband and I got the body. Ah. Don't know if you guys could see those hands and whatnot. Okay, so that's cool. So that was pretty easy. That went well for us. I'm sure I can find a model of Goku's hair somewhere online. I need to figure out where to do that though. Sorry, I was just thinking about something. Because I guess if I did get the hair, I would want it to kind of... I'd want it to kind of like go a little yellow, come back, go a little more yellow, come back, and then go full. As opposed to just going from like... Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, ground crushes, aura turns yellow right after crush. Make aura a little bigger upon this. Okay, cool. So let's see here. What would that mean? Basically, we need a new, and we're going to call it aura color. And we're going to make a script, and we're going to go into power levels. We call it like change aura color. Oh, I made a folder by accident. We want a script. Change aura color, go into it. And this should be a fairly simple script. It's going to be a power event. In my mind, so what should happen? You're standing there, you're powering up. Should it be the ground crushes, then your aura changes? Or should it be aura changes, then the ground crushes? I'm almost thinking the aura should change first. To where it's like, aura changes, gets bigger, then the ground is like, yeah, that'd be way cooler. Okay, we're going to do that for sure. I've been so busy with school studying for a test so hard to only know that the online people are not taking the test. Oh, no. You mean you did learning for nothing, Josue? That's terrible. I hate when I learn things and then I don't even get tested on them. No, that's good, Josue. You still learned something new. It's not all about the test, you know? Okay, get rid of this. Shmoop. Shmoop, shmoop. Shmoop, 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 shmoop. Okay, cool. And then for this, they've achieved the level. So what's going to happen, I suppose, is that we're going to need a particle system. Particle system aura. Do power events have particle systems imported into them? No, I thought I needed to import something for particle system. Do I not? Unity engine particle system. All right, whatever. Or is it particle effect? Let me see. Ground crush. No, particle system. Okay, so if the level is achieved, then basically you start streaming at 2, right? If you do, I will be there as soon as I can. Yeah, 2 Eastern time, so whatever that is for you, but like 2 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so change aura color. The color of their aura. Public, sorry, just void change aura color. That might be async later, I'm not sure yet, but basically we're going to want to do aura dot let's see. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, okay, sweet, so that's not a problem for you. Okay, so let's make this 1 for now. And then we need to give it the particle system, which will be the aura. So that should be good. And then basically we need we could probably just change the material, honestly. Cool. So we can do that. I feel like it would have just barely a tint of blue in it initially. Okay, cool. So what we actually need is the material. Public material aura matte. Void on application. Yeah. Application quits. Okay, so now we need a few things here that we normally do. Internal. Int aura color ID. Then we need to do void start. And we need to do aura color ID equals. Aura color ID equals shader dot property 2 ID. And then we need to go find what that would be. Base color. Okay, then we basically need to say aura matte dot set color aura color ID to OG color. And then we're going to need to do that as well. color, OG color. OG color equals aura material. So basically I'm just kind of setting it up so that I can grab the color off that material. You have to do some special stuff for materials because they're a graphical element, not like a normal sort of game element. So you just kind of have to do some stuff there. Aura mat. Dot get color or color, OG color. Okay, cool. So that should all be good there. Now I'm set up to actually change the color. So if I want to change the color, then I would say same thing as down here. Header, needed objects, params, public color, final aura color. Okay, cool. And then we'll make this final aura color. Okay, so that should all be good. Let's make that 2. And then, where was this? Aura, what is it called? Aura. Makes sense. Okay, cool. And then the final color will basically be just straight up yellow. So that should be good. And then blah, 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 blah. Actually, we're not quite good yet because we need to find out what the transparency is. It's 255. So we will also want this to be 255. Okay, cool. And then let's change aura to be power level 1, just so that I can test this. Alright, let's see if it works. So you power up. Your aura turns on. You power up more. Oh, it's yellow now! Ah! Alright, let's try it in the headset, because it looks kind of cool. I love the aura. The aura is so good. Oh my goodness, people are gonna be freaking pumped. People are gonna be so pumped for that. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so ridiculous. Maybe I can get that kid who tried to become Super Saiyan to play it and talk about it. Or maybe I can get Will Smith's son, Jaden Smith, to play it. I know he's into that. Okay, cool. So that seemed like it worked. That seemed like it worked pretty well. So I guess I'm now thinking I still would like it if maybe the speed increased a little bit to like 30 from 23. So how do I change that? Change speed. So then I guess I need the aura dot start speed. It's deprecated. And yet I'm gonna use it anyway. Oh, it's obsolete. Okay, time to Google. In script Unity. What do you mean I am pumped for the game itself? You mean just as opposed to just the aura? I don't know, man. You got to see the aura. It's really awesome. What is it saying here? Particle system, get particle system. Particle system.main. What is the problem? What is happening? Oh, it's making me mad. Yay. Okay, let's see if that works. And let's actually just make it something ridiculous that way. That way I can tell without putting the headset on whether it worked or not. Alright, so you start. It turns on. You keep going. Okay, yeah, it definitely worked. Cool. So we just want it to be like 30. Alright, it starts. This is so epic. You're like, yeah. Do those look like the same color to you guys? My hands are like too shiny. Now that I'm looking at them. What's with these shiny hands? We don't want no shiny. I don't want no shiny hand. Okay. Offset, blah, geometry, blah, blah. It is using a thing called skin. Do not want the specular. No specular for me. Save it. Okay. And then... Okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. Hey, Jake. You want to see something sweet, Jake? So first of all, we got the body in. And then second of all, I got the aura changing colors. So it's like, you're like, yeah. And then it's like, and you're like, yeah. Oh, and the ground crushes, which is also pretty cool. And then if you keep going long enough, eventually the, let's see if we can get it to happen. The sky darkens over. Everything goes dark and those rocks start lifting up around you. And you're like, okay, cool. So we are way up on the vert count. I'm hoping we can just kind of get away with it. Don't know that that's how vert counts work. Hopefully it is. Yeah, it's awesome for sure. It's yeah, it's I almost like I love making these little experiences that aren't even really games, but you can just really polish them because they're small. You know, like you're only supposed to play it for like 40 seconds or whatever. You know, because I'll work on something for a month if they're gonna play it and go, that was epic, only for 40 seconds. You know, that's fine with me. In fact, they should have ended God of War right after that Baldur fight, and that would have basically been good enough. Let me make that 127. And then let me go into change. Let's make this 127 as well. Let me see if that looks a little better. No, I didn't fight the Valkyries, dude. I don't give a crap about the Valkyries. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, and let's do this. Main dot start speed equals main dot start speed. Let's do it in a percentage times 1.4. It will go 1.4 times faster. Oh, what? You don't like what I wrote there? Min-max curve. Okay, cool. And then, so let's make that, and then let's do the same thing with the lifetime now. To keep the... Basically, it just, they go up too high. They go up too high now that they're faster. So let's do start lifetime equals start lifetime dot constant divided by 1.4. I believe that's how that math would work. If not, it's going to be close enough. The Valkyrie Queen, I do not recall her. Let's see. Oh yeah. Was there something special about these people? I thought they were just like normal enemies. Oh. Yeah, I did that. I mean, yeah. I didn't realize they were supposed to be bosses or anything. Just because they were so easy. Just so easy for me. Okay, sweet. I thought they were no better than those little dregs that you fight. Alright, let's see. So we have the aura. So that aura should be working nicely now. And what power level was that at? I think it was at... Oh, no, I clicked on something. Alright. I think it was at 8. I believe it was 8. Let's go check, though. Actually, I know for a fact it was 8. So no need to even check. No, I'm not lying. They were so easy. Thunderstorm starts at 9. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at this thunderstorm, actually. Because we need to mess with it a little bit. Is there anything else after that? Trees lift off. You lift off. Okay, so these last 3 I actually need to do some work on. So let's get the thunderstorm. I'm starting to think this isn't quite going to go as planned as far as performance is concerned. I mean, these small rocks have got to be my favorite part. Just small rocks lifting off the ground, and you're like, ah. So funny. Okay, so let's take a look at this thunderstorm. My main concerns are basically that. Prefer camera view 100% of the time, probability 100%. Spawn height way too high. Where is the cloud? How high are these clouds at? They're at 500. No, they're way higher than 500. We turn this thunderstorm on, let me start it, and let's take a look at where this thunder actually is. So first of all, 519 is probably the lowest. So let's go to it. Do 519, scale multi. (519) scale multi. A multiplier for the size of the lightning. A value of 1 means that lightning bolts are exactly as long as the spawn height. Really? So that'll be 500. That's long. Wow. All right. Let's see here. Flicker settings, distance and duration, color settings. I don't think we need any of that. Distance and duration. Let's take a look at that. Minimum distance, 300. No, I want lightning like around me. I'm talking 20. Maximum distance. I don't want to be looking any further than 1,000. Note, this feature requires using deferred lighting or making your camera render the depth texture. This value cannot be changed in play mode. Cool. Controls how soft the blending between lightning bolts and intersecting. Okay, I don't... That... So here, this is a classic... This is someone else's code. He did a very good job with Thor Thunderstorm, by the way. Or she did. But this right here is a classic example of a bad variable name. Or a bad... Let's see, like, what does that mean? What does 1,000 even mean? You know, depth blend distance, because that makes sense. You're like, okay, oh, it's the distance that it's going to blend it over. I don't know. I'm not really getting it. But anyway, let's start and let's see how this looks. Why am I not seeing it? Perhaps it's the soft particles. Turn that off. Let's take a look at it again. Oh yeah, that's what we want. Cool. Let's maybe set this to 0.8 just to get 20% less lightning in there. It was a lot of lightning. It was a lot of lightning. You know, actually, let's just set it to 1 and let's actually go back into it. This is just design stuff. And let's set this to 3000. Audio settings. Audio mixer group. I'm basically looking for the sound. Okay. And let's see, it's probably under okay, I was under plugins. Why it's under plugins, I don't know, but that's okay. I'm trying to track down where it is that it's RT. What is RT? Thor's Thunder. Why would he name Thor's Thunderstorm RT? Yeah, I don't know. Does it really matter? I don't know. Okay, cool. And then it was called Thunder Clips Very Close Up. Dang, okay, give me a second here. So I have some good lightning ones as well. Really just these two. Okay, cool. So then I need to close lightning. So close lightning 2 is the one that's really close. Okay, cool. So go back, not prefabs. Very near. I think that's 6. Okay, that was probably unnecessary. For some reason, when I was in there, I felt like they were all kind of the same. And so I thought I would add my own lightning sounds to it. But it looks like I already have like 6 lightning sounds in here. So maybe that was a little unnecessary. Okay, cool. So that should be good. Let's take a look at it one more time. Again, I still think it's just a little bit too much. And that's clearly too little. Okay, cool, and that's pretty good. 0.93. So what I'll probably do for this then is fade it in. So we'll keep this on. We need to make some sort of effect. Scripts, power levels. Lightning storm. Open this up. Make it a power event. Cool, get rid of all these things. Take this, implement it, get rid of that. Just kind of clean this up so I don't have to look at it. Get rid of this. Thor's thunderstorm. Thunderstorm. And then we'll do thunderstorm dot, well, I guess we'll want to do fade in thunderstorm. Something like that. Cool, and just like all the other ones with darkened sky and all that, we're just going to come in here. Fade in the thunderstorm. And if anybody has any questions, let's say we have 5 people in here, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, because I am just way ahead of schedule on this game. I mean, it could be about anything. You could ask about keywords, you could ask about art, anything like that, where I got these things, good places to get them, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Cloud mat. So we don't want any of that. What it's basically going to be is thunderstorm probability. Void start. So right at the beginning, let's go ahead and set it thunderstorm.probability equal to 0. So then lightning. Turn off lightning. Okay, cool. And then we'll need to make this public, and we'll need to call this needed objects. Cool. And then we'll have another one called parameters. And this will be public float final probability. Import unitask. Oh, jeez. Import unitask. This will go from 0 to the final probability. And again, down here, we're just going to take this and set this equal to the final probability. Cool. Just one last time to make sure that it is that. Alright, cool, so that should be good. We just need a fade in time. And I guess let's just probably just make that like 10 seconds or something. Be back in 5 minutes. No problem, Winters. Lightning storm. It was 9. The final probability is 0.96. Fade in time, probably over 10 seconds or so. Thor thunderstorm. Cool. Okay, so that should be good. That should work. Let's just make it 1 so that we can test it and take a look at it. Okay, cool. So I'm happy with that. That seems good. So let's set that to 9. Okay. I think Ground Crush, what was Ground Crush supposed to be? It's supposed to be 8. I feel like everything is out of order. That's okay, I'll fix it later. Alright, trees lift off. Oh, man. Oh. I have no water. Let me go grab... Actually, no, I should be good. Trees lift off. Okay, so... The idea behind this one is that the trees are ripping out of the ground, and they, like the rocks, are now kind of floating around you. And the only thing we really need to do for that is redo the tree placement so that they are childed under an object. So you'll see if we go to these trees, if we want to stick with the tree approach, which I think for now we do, at least. And the trees will require just a tad bit of work, but let's see. They currently are pivoting around their bottom. So if we take this one out and we rotate it, it rotates like that. We don't want that. We probably want it to rotate around the center here. So we just need to figure that out, basically. So, tree liftoff, okay. Power level start 10. We basically just need to go into this trees, place match trees. Okay. Grab the tree object, make a tree parent. Add the tree. Yeah, so what are we doing exactly? Because we're parenting it to that object. I think we... Okay. Tree parent equals new game object. Tree equals new game object tree. Very cool. Tree parent dot transform dot position equals tree new dot transform dot position plus vector 3 dot up times r scale times r scale. How do I get halfway in between this tree? I'm actually not positive. I need to know how tall this tree is in general. No worries, Winter. We are currently just making the tree rotation a little bit better, a little bit more robust. So let's take this, let's move this guy out here. Let's go ahead and set him to 1, 1, 1. So now it's a smaller tree. We're just gonna kind of eyeball this. Create a 3D object, cube. Let's bring it to us, if we could. Unity's so ridiculous. It creates this cube and it puts it like 16 miles away from me, so I have to... Okay, cool. Get this cube. Okay, so now we have this cube and we have this tree. Let's actually make this cube smaller, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Let's take note of its height. Really, its height is like exactly 0. Huh. Alright, sweet. That seems unlikely. Even more unlikely that I magically got it. I mean, to like, for this object and this object to both be at 0 without any reason for them being there, you know, when it's this resolution, like 30.662, you're telling me I got them both at 0 exactly? That's hard to believe. Although, the tree makes more sense because it was placed at 0, because this terrain is at 0 and it's flat. But this cube, I'm surprised. But whatever. Okay, so it's at 0. Let's see. How tall is this bad boy? Let's call it 12. Okay, so then it needs to be going up by that by 12. Divided by 0.5. By the scale, by its natural height, and then half of that. And now that should place them... That should place that object correctly. And then we will say tree new dot transform dot parent equals tree parent dot transform. If you were to make a big game, what would it be about? It's a good question, Winters. I guess that So initially when I wanted to be a game developer, I did want to make big games. I thought that it would be really cool to do so. And I was working on the Silkworm, and I was working on it for about 6 months until I realized I don't really want to do that. I moved on to something else, and then I realized I don't really want to do that, so I kind of came back to games, but realizing that I wanted to make games quickly and not take like 6 years of my life to make one. I just felt there were a lot of experiences to make. But the game that I probably think about the most, if I was to make it in the future, would be a superhero game where basically the premise is that you don't start off with superpowers. And then basically, you don't start off as superpowers, you just start off as a normal person. And as you walk around and interact with the environment over about a week or so of playing, you would start to develop superpowers depending on what type of person you are. So if you spent a lot of time like near the water or in the water, you might get like a random superpower that lets you like fill things with water. Or if you were lifting a lot, you might get super strength. Or if you were around hot things, you might get heat resistance or something like that. And that you would then be able to make those powers more powerful by using them. And then basically the idea would be that it would be a dynamic world where you can choose to be a villain or a hero, and they just kind of fight it out, and it's permadeath. So if you die, you lose your power and you have to start over again. And I think that would be a really intense experience, and I'd be interested to see the different organizations that came out of it, like the supervillain organizations and the superhero organizations, because I'm sure that's what would happen. And when Silkworm is coming out, it's really just up to Oculus, Ferris. VR Microsoft Excel Simulator. Oh, yeah, that would be great. It's really just up to Oculus, Ferris. They're reviewing it, so I don't know. Sounds good. Yeah, no, I think that it would be really, really fun. I also, if you've seen, I think you were the one who brought up Hunter x Hunter Winters. I would like to make a real life experience like the Hunter exam, where the whole world can where basically the whole world can try, but only like 1 in 10,000 people actually even make it to the exam. And then the exam is extremely tough. I think that would be really cool as well. So what was I doing? I was doing the trees. Okay, so let's see if this works. Trees, delete all trees. Trees, place mash trees. Uh-oh. First of all, let's get rid of all those trees. Let's get rid of that one too. Tree parent dot transform dot parent equals parent. I'm just reparenting a whole bunch of stuff basically. Yeah, I mean, I think that is probably what would happen. I think I would probably be a villain. I think I would find that to be more fun. Although it'd be hard for me to do that. I would like to think I could make myself be a villain. But realistically, that's not how life works out for me, so. Jake would definitely be a villain, though. Alright, cool. Did I get it? I think it could probably be just a little... I think it could probably be just a little bit lower. So it looks like 12 maybe wasn't correct. I couldn't hurt a fly. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Trees, delete trees, trees, place the trees. Okay, cool. The only problem with that is the bird spawner, but that's okay. Then we come in here, we grab all these bad boys, we give them all tree lift off, which I believe happens at 10. Okay. Should be good. But let's make it happen at 1 so that we can see what we're working with here. So I think that's good. I just think the design is poor. So let's fix it. Tree liftoff. Let's say that only 70% of trees actually lift off. Then let's make this, I don't know, 40. Then let's take this rotation speed and let's turn it down a notch because that's a little crazy. And the speed up was probably good. So let's take a look at this now. What system are you using? What do you mean, what system am I using, Winters? Okay, so that's a lot better. Yeah, just let me know what system you're talking about, Winters. Okay, so that's a lot better. And now I need a stop height. Equals random dot range 25 to 75. If it should raise, translate it. If transform dot position dot y greater than stop height. There's a bunch of other stuff we could do. We could do like easing and whatnot where it like eases into that. But yeah, I don't really wanna. Stop height, maybe we can do that later. If you were using Unity or something like that. Yeah, I'm using Unity. I'm using Unity. If you should raise, do the translation. Okay, cool. So that should work, but I guess we can test it. You know what, honestly, I don't even know that we need to test it. So let's set these to 10 and be done with that. Is today Tuesday or? It is Tuesday, cool. Okay, good. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have performance problems. Especially on the quest. It's mainly the trees. So I almost think that I could just maybe get rid of some of the trees on quest. I hate that I support quest. I should really just do quest too, but there's a ton of people with quest, so it would be unfair. Alright, and then you lift off, 11. Player float, distance up. Let's say that you go up 30 meters. Duration. 30 seconds, I guess. Let's start it on 1. Let's see what that gets us. Game object have find player. That's no good. Let's make a player spy. Let's do public static transform player. I guess for now that's all we need. Player equals transform. It's not transform. Very cool. And then over here, player is going to be player spy dot player. Look at this, back when I used to use I enumerators. It's a sad life. A sad Dom who didn't know any better. Okay. Cool. So that's good. So now we need to go into the player prefab, which will probably be a little faster just to do this. And we go ahead and put player spy on it. That way people can find the object. And let's get rid of this, and this, and this. And let's take all these and instead call it player spy dot player. Okay, very cool. So let's see. So you'll be like, okay, cool. Still lifting up. Still lifting up. Maybe this is too slow. And maybe I didn't lift high enough either. Let's go up to 50. And over 20 seconds. I love the birds. The birds turned out so nice. Just making sure I can't see over anything. Does not appear that I can, so that's good. Okay, cool. So that should be good. Yeah, the birds do sound good, don't they? Okay, so that is all the power levels. The only other one that I can think of is getting... The only other one that I can think of... Well, okay, so let's see. Beginning screen plug and warn. Beginning screen plug and warn. And disclaimer. At the end, I just want to say, like, you fully powered up. You don't need to keep screaming because I don't want people to hurt themselves. Beginning screen plug and warn. End disclaimer. Powered up fully. If you guys can come up with any ways in which I would tell them that they've powered up fully without, like, putting out text and saying, hey, you've powered up fully. That would be cool. And then, sorry, so the disclaimers. I'd like some sort of hair. Hair that goes yellow. And I think that would pretty much be it. I think everything else is pretty much done. And then I would just need to do the optimizations or making sure that it runs onto Quest 2. And what else? And just making sure in general it runs at frame rate. But let's see. Yeah, I think it would be well over 9,000. I think it's like 1 million when he's... Yeah, anyway. I don't know how they're even coming up with what the power levels are since they haven't really talked about them in a while, but... Okay, cool. Hair that goes yellow. So let's see if we can... What would be the best place for this? Goku hair. Oh wow, someone actually made it. That's funny. Creative Commons attribution, what is that? So if I wanted to, well, first of all, let's see if it works. Let me see if I can grab this. Log into Sketchfab. I guess I'll just log in with Google. Yeah, I don't know what the drip means. I don't know. What is drip? This model's free. Goku drip. Original format. Go ahead and download it. Yeah, Goku drip. Sounds good. Save. 79 megabytes. Holy crap. I'm starting to think maybe this hair is like insanely high definition. Okay, we probably couldn't use it anyway. Let me think. I mean, if anything, I don't need like a whole head of hair. I just need one loaf. I just need like this thing. I wonder if I can make something like that. Nora's Winters. Drip is like style. Okay. So people would say like, oh, Jake, he has drip. He's dripping. They would say like, Jake is dripping right now. Jake's looks like he just dove in a lake because he's dripping. I'm not dripping. Okay, what am I looking for here? Pro Builder, there we go. New shape. New shape. Okay, let's see. Can I make a shape? Cube. I'm sure I can do this. I'm sure I can. I'm trying to figure out how I would do it though. Maybe it would be like a pipe. Like a pipe that you... what am I looking for here? An arch. Maybe it would be like an arch. Be an arch that you increase the thickness of, increase the depth of, change the degrees for. Jake, have you seen Invincible? You ever play Subnautica? I tried playing it in VR one time, but it was a little too much for me. So I did not continue with that. However, I do think it's a cool game. It's just not quite my type of game, but I have mad respect for Subnautica for sure. He did a very good job with it. Or she. I'm not sure, actually. Can we take this? Oh no. This isn't gonna work. Yeah, because it's gonna be like that. There we go, there's the hair. That's what will be hanging off your head. Looks good, doesn't it? Okay, how do I do this? I'm not a modeler. Shift, double click on edge. Alright, come on, why is it scaling like that? Why you do this to me, hair? Okay, at least they all scale like that, I guess. Alright. Try Blender because it's Unity. Yeah, no, I do have Blender. I just don't know how to use it. I kind of know how to use Pro Builder. Maybe there's another shape that's a little closer. This cone could be good. Don't even know where the torus is. Alright, yeah. Probably won't happen. I'll probably need to grab something somewhere. But yeah, I don't even need all that. I just need, like... guess there's a lot of... Oh god, a Reaper. Nope, nope, nope. Not sure what you mean about the Reaper thing. Yeah, I need something like this. Like if I could just cut off everything else that wasn't this. Let me see here. It's $5. I don't think I need that. I believe if I find the correct model, I can cut it up. Yeah, anime hair would probably be good. Let me do that right after this. Honestly, maybe I could just look up Goku. $4. Take a look at this hair here. Oh no. That could work. And $4 is whatever. I guess I kind of feel like I want it to go out more. Okay, that could work. Where's like the money? Okay, cool. It's weird that he wants attribution when all he wrote is from Chinese mobile game. Like he just stole it from a Chinese mobile game. And he's like, yeah, but you need to attribute me. Maybe this isn't the right place to look for it. This is what you wanted me to look up, Caleb. It all makes sense now. I see you. Sometimes this is just what game development is, just looking for assets. Let's see. Oh wow, look at that. I guess you get what you pay for, you know? This would be good. This is what I want. This one hair hanging in front of you. I wonder if I could grab the hair off this guy. All right, all right. Well, I'll look for it some other time. I'll look for it on my own time. But for right now, I suppose it's 5, so the stream should be ending. Thank you everybody who joined today. We got a lot done. We basically finished the game. Now we just need to make sure that it's optimized and tweak some variables and see if we can get the hair in there. Maybe I'll just buy this. Maybe I'll just get this or whatever. Get this $4 one. It seems simple enough. Anyway, but basically, yeah, we just have like 2 more things to do and then it'll be ready for playtesting, so that should be good. But thank you everybody who joined, and I'll be in the Discord after this for about 30 minutes, so see ya.